So this is just a short video to show you how to make an adjustable batter frame so that you can adjust the bottom and you can slide these in and just use these wing nuts to tighten up, and you can make the top whatever size your coping is. So all you need is just some, I'm just using some, these are some old slats off an old bed which obviously want painting. They're not going to be very durable, but when they're painted up with some preservative they'll be okay. So I've just got some 3x1, you could use some 4x1, which would be fine. Now I've put a hole here, so in order to drill the holes out, obviously I've just used something like an 8 to 10 mil drill hole. Do that one. That's the 300 mil, that's for the smaller coping. Then this is for the seat, so this is slightly a bit wider for the seat actually. I'm just going to mark it, switch them around and we'll do it that way. So should do it, yeah, that's it, good. So that's the drilling out. We'll just have a look at cutting the rebar. For the actual rebar, I've used sort of about 12-14 mil rebar and cut it down. So to cut it down, so that's got two the same height. I'm going to pop those two on this one and then that should set that up nicely. You can see here I've done one at 12 inch, one at the end. I've bought, these are just some fairly cheap bolts, and in fact you can see here this is M6 100s and they'll do fine. I'll just break that open and we'll take those two, slot them through the back, slot it through there. Okay, same again the other side, just drop them in, drop that through there, get a couple of these sort of wing nuts, we'll knock them out and we'll just screw them down. Oops, we'll just screw them down there eventually. Just get that started, it's a little bit tricky. There you go. And these are better than using an ordinary nut because obviously you can quickly undo these by hand. So it's a much better system than using a nut. And again, we'll just pop that one there. Tighten them up a little bit. Clamp them down a little bit, and that's going to give me my sides of my, so I'm just going to pop that through a little bit more actually. It's sticking out a little bit more, and I have actually just ordered some tops for the rebar, some safety tops, because obviously they could be a bit dangerous and sometimes they're a little bit burred over. So one of the things you can do is to set your coping, and then you can undo your bolts a little bit, push it in, do them back up again. So you've set the base of your wall, you make sure this is level, look at your coping. This isn't the best coping, you see there's a piece sort of missing there, but it can be used. And then you can set that in, do your butterfly nut up. And so what you want to make sure, of course, is that your coping, when you do your sides, we just need to make sure it's central. I haven't set it up central yet, but so that when you knock these in the ground, they're nice and firm, and you've got it nice and central so they're even both sides. But then you just slacken off you have a look how big your coping is, slacken off the butterfly valves, and then push these rods in, do your butterfly valves back up, and then you know then that it's gonna, your coping is going to fit on top. You can see it's got to come in a little bit more for the base of these just to make it work. That's got to be pushed in a bit. If we were coming to that height, if we're coming to that height, that'd be perfect. Okay, so the beauty of them is that they're adjustable and really useful piece of kit in terms of any wall, any size coping. I've got, you know, there's a variety I can use here. So if you're out there and you want to do some walling, really useful piece of kit to make. Very easy for a few quid. This was off an old bed. A few butterfly nuts, some bolts, a bit of rebar, and you've got yourself a really good, useful, adjustable batter frame. So the idea of these batter frames, what you do when you're doing a curve, you want to set up a series of them. So one here, you can see there's one there, and then they go around so that you can adjust the middle frame if you want to the top of your wall. This is actually going to go in, so our wall, the coping is going to be about 30 centimeters. So what I'll be able to do is when we get to do the middle wall is adjust that so that we've got a batter in slightly to build that up, and then the coping will go on the top. So hope that helps you walling. See you next time.